the portrait of a typical city in the 21st century. Year 2005, Seoul, Korea. Only a few decades ago, this land was no more than dust and rubbles.
(1960s). It was a time of utter poverty. Nevertheless, we had our fill of freedom that we all won out of the April 19th uprising, however short it was.
Furthermore, it was also a time filled with the zest to build a new history. Modernization. However, it was the price paid for the liberation we earned, albeit for a short while.
한마디로 고문이죠. 고문.
온 민족이 하나의 목적을 가지고 뛰었다는 건 분명하다. 성장. 거기엔 뭐 억압도 있고 시행착오도 있었다.
그때가 참 그 암흑기죠. 암흑기인데도 나는 그때 암흑기니까 또 희망이 많았어요.
혹은 내 작품을 통해서 했던 어떤 시대 구분 혹은 상황 개념으로 하면은 변경의 마지막 밤이라고 하고 싶네요.
걷잡을 수 없이 돌아쳐서 역사의 거리로 표본에서 나오기 시작한 것이죠.
이 군부 독재하고 싸우는데 무기도 되고 뭐 총탄만 무기가 되는 게 아니라 시든 무기가 될 수 있다.
크게 봐서는 좀 생존의 문제를 갖다가 실존의 문제로 옮겨간 시대였다라고 생각합니다.
A time when literary freedom lay deeply buried in the darkness of the night. This long, long night began on one spring day in 1961.
May 16th, 1961. A horde of soldiers follow behind a tank as they enter the heart of Seoul. What they represent are modernization and anti-communism. Fast forward to May 23rd. 1,200 different periodicals are ordered to cease publication. The fleeting taste of freedom's warmth is nowhere to be found, and it's back to a period ruled by the dark, cold, wintry republic. This loss and grief are darkly painted into literature.
이 4.19가 1년 만에 도적을 맞췄어요. 이게 이제 5.16 군사혁명입니다. 그랬을 때에 이 한국 사회의 그 자유의 상황선을 갖다가 어느 정도 봐버린 사람들에게는 이것처럼 견디기 어려운 게 없습니다. 그렇다고 해서 이 군부하고 저항할 수도 없고, 이 저항할 수도 없고, 아직 방향이 잡히지 않으니까 저항할 수도 없고, 이 사태를 어떻게 할 것인가 하는 것을 갖다가 그대로 반영해 놓은 것이 김성욱의 그 유명한 그 무진비행입니다.
A town called Mujin that does not exist on the map. The thick fog that clouds over the town symbolizes a chaotic society, hopeless and lost. Such was Kim Sung-ok's perspective on the 60s in which he lived. A period of industrialization where people left their homes and flocked to the cities. The protagonist visits his hometown and leaves with a deep sense of futility. The writer begins to question an individual sense of being.
이 허무의식 이것이 어느 정도 지속되다가 차차 이제 여기에 대한 대응, 이 공부에 대한 저항 또는 이제 그런 파시즘에 대한 그 응전 방식 이런 것은 70대 들어오면서 서서히 나타나고 우리 문학의 새로운 장을 갖다 열게 되죠.
Amidst the history of Korean literature colored by war and independence, People's Revolution and Military Revolution, this piece was a first in shedding light on a single individual. However, in consideration of the sense of oppression that prevalent in society, this portrayal was made indirectly. A military regime promotes modernization by way of an anti-communism as strong as the Lee Seung-man administration. In the course of it, the response to the loss of the short-lived freedom gradually showed itself through literature. And the writer Lee Chung-jun entered into the picture like a comet.
Through the work he published during this time, An Imbecile and an Idiot, it is understood that the greatest violence to cripple him was the Korean War. The devastation experienced from the April 19th uprising is also portrayed in this work. But Lee Chung-jun made an attempt to overcome self-dependence and self-torment. This darkness reached its height in This Paradise of Yours. How does man need to transfigure himself to resist oppression? This novel searches for an answer to that question.
Although it is no longer entirely true today, literature was the most affordable and readily available form of entertainment in Korea in the 60s. This period was marked by a boom in reading, fueled by Park Chung-hee's military regime that aimed to modernize the country and develop its economy through education and the people's demand for education. In a way, it was a golden age. It was typical for a home with children to have several complete literary collections, and all types of books were flying off the shelves. A time when industrialization took shape through economic development built on the foundation of freedom. There are several romantic areas that literary circles reminisce about the most. Myeongdong and the college town, Dongsunggdong. Among them, Hangnim Cafe, located on Dongsunggdong's Taeakno, was praised the most during its heyday. Established in 1956, Hangnim has held the same spot for decades, earning a reputation as the best literary salon, as well as being the scene for numerous literary activities. It was also a well for students and intellectuals to quench their thirst for classical music. There is one individual representative of this romanticism.
Chun Hae-rin. This young genius, returning from Germany, drinks her last cup of coffee in Hangnim, the last day of her life. The same night, she ends her own life at age 31. What she left behind was one posthumous collection of essays, and nothing was said. Her death, led by the despair in realizing that reality and ideals do not coexist, was followed by several imitated suicides by literary aspirants.
Heedless of these events, with the suicide of Chun Hae-rin, the 60s closes its curtains with the deaths that followed. The second death is that of Kim Soo-young, the poet of inclusion and opposition.
He experienced the sorrows of the Korean War more painfully than any other. He was dragged into North Korea and became a prisoner of war. Shackled in the concentration camp at Kojedo, once a leader of modernism, he changes into a social participationist.
이 현 체제에서 봤을 때는 불어난 시들이 지금 전부 서랍 속에서 발표되지 못한 채로 억압돼서 발표를 못하고 있다. 이 시가 햇볕을 보는 날 진정한 한국 문학과 시가 비로소 이루어지는 거지 지금 시라는 건 다 엉터리다.
A time when the notion itself of the populace was taboo. The poem Grass acknowledges that man forms the nucleus of history and draws on this notion. This work opens a way for poems that gained popularity in the latter half of the 80s, 20 years in advance.
July 1970, an expressway that can very well symbolize modernization opens to traffic. November of the same year brings the third death that ends the 60s. A working man of the Cheonggyecheon Coded Labor Union, Chun Tae-il. At the time, workers took pep pills and had to work over 12 hours on a given day. He fought for the workers' rights to holidays and their human rights, and eventually burned himself to death. Chun Tae-il made a large impact. His death served as a catalyst for intellectuals to delve into labor movements and labor-related literature. The winds of resistance were getting stronger and stronger. To maintain political power, anti-communist policies were imposed on the people, awakening their fear of war, which was still fresh in their minds. It was the beginning of a cultural oppression that prohibited any criticism against the government. The government thus believed that it had put a stop to it. Fortunately, there was a medium that opened the gates of creative work. Among the heaps of discontinued periodicals, quarterlies, and books became a hotbed for literary activities. A primary example was Changbi. This magazine was a central point in the movement that concurrently resisted dictatorship and promoted a unified nation.
문학이라 그러면은 이 사회 문제나 역사 현실과는 절연된 이런 것을 하는 것이 이제 문학이다 하는 조류가 강했는데요. 거기에 대해서 반발하는 참여문학론이 또 너무 좀 구호적이고 관념적인 그런 점이 있었습니다. 그래서 우리 창비에서는 문학의 사회 참여를 강조하면서도 종래의 논의를 좀 이렇게 종합해가지고 한 단계 발전시키자 그런 취지가 있었죠.
Representing the intellectuals of the petit bourgeois was Munji. Then there was Sasangye, a must-read for intellectuals that contained a spectrum of articles on art and literature and critiques on reality.
May 1970, before the revitalizing reform. A poem is introduced, Five Thieves.
신민당 당시 야당 기관지예요. 그 민주전선이라는데 조그맣게 요만하게 동빙호동 도둑촌이라고 그래가지고 기사가 났어요. 그 기사를 보고 아 이게 정치셔서 좋겠다 이 선택을 했고 나는 학교 다닐 때부터 판소리를 현대화해보자 하는 것이 한 꿈이었으니까 그래서 이게 판소리가락을 현대화하면서 내용을 도둑질하는 거 그러니까 부정부패 비리 이런 걸 잡아봐야겠다. 그래가지고 사흘 동안 썼어요. 믿질 않는데 꼭 사흘이에요. 꼭 사흘. 그리고 앞으로 뭐 어떻게 될 거라는 동 무슨 이것 때문에 혼이 난다는 동 그런 생각은 아예 없었어요.
Five Thieves poignantly criticizes the injustice and corruption of the power class at the time.
It is no surprise that Kim Ji-ha was arrested. He was released after a brief stay, but eventually was sentenced to death for the Democratic Youth and Student Association motion incident of 1974. His death was avoided by the clemency movements, domestic and abroad. However, his poems could not be published for nearly 20 years and was thus screened from the public. None escaped this continuing censorship and suppression, but the seeds left behind by Chun Tae-il's death started to sprout. The fierce criticism on society evolved into diverse forms.
Cho Se-hee takes his place as a background in a little ball launched by a dwarf and draws the wretched state of the poor in the city who are shoved out of industrialization.
처음으로 한국인들의 어떤 한국 사회에 있어서 어떤 계급 간의 갈등의 문제를 갖다가 다룬 거고, 그러니까 이 가난한 사람들이 그냥 가난한 사람들인 것이 아니라 어떤 이 사람들 사이의 어떤 관계 혹은 관계에 주어진 어떤 이 제도적인 어떤 규정을 통해서 사람들이 이렇게 어떤 사람은 가난할 수밖에 없고 어떤 사람은 부자가 될 수밖에 없다라고 하는 걸 갖다가 굉장히 그분 특유의 어떤 감각적인 문체와 단문을 통해서 잘 보여줬다고 얘기를 할 수가 있고요.
He said, "There was a time when we all screamed from unbearable pain. I screamed from utter agony, and that bruised and earnest scream was a little ball launched by a dwarf." The young generation embraced this soul-drenched sound, and this novel was acclaimed as a pioneer and a Bible to the Korean labor literature that understood the individuals sacrificed for the rise of modernization.
However, after this work, Cho Se-hee chooses photography over writing. There was nothing left to write about under the weight of oppression. As the 70s drew near its end, a history novel was born, serving as a landmark in this period.
Kim Joo-young's The Peddler's Inn. This novel tells the story of a peddler, and neither kings nor heroes are featured.
기층민이라는 것은 말하자면 완성된 인간이 아닌 뭔가 많이 모자라기 때문에 희망이 있는 그 희망을 가지고 살 수 있는 그런 사람이다, 이렇게 우리가 생각할 수 있죠. 역사에서도 마찬가지입니다. 완성된 역사, 이거는 어떤 작가가 다룰 만한 가치가 못 되는 거죠. 그러니까 뭔가 더 탐구할 수 있는 빈자리가 있는 그런 역사를 다룸으로 해서 작가의 의욕도 같이 북돋을 수 있는 거죠.
I want to draw the lives of the poor who lived and died nameless. Kim Joo-young's intention creates a new path in the royalty and dynasty-focused Korean history novels. Through The Peddler's Inn, he restores the lives of the merchants and the common people of the latter half of the Joseon period. It is implied that history is shaped by the general public. The search for a prototype of a Korean appears as a local trend among the poems of this period. Seo Jung-ju's The Myth of Chilmaje genuinely reflected our everyday language and colloquialism at this time. One poet showed us a world of innocent and philosophical poetry, as if he was a child from this period. Chun Sang-byung. He too was a notable figure as a fierce satirist and critic on society before the 1970s. His philosophical writings, which sing of happiness amidst poverty, are shaped by great suffering.
선생님은 그 동백님 사건 후에 나와서 그 시 한 편, 그날이라는 시가 있어요. 근데 그 표현을 어떻게 했냐면 아이롱 및 와이셔츠 같이 당한 그날이라는 거예요. 그러니까 그만큼 심한 이제 고통을 당한 거죠. 전기 고문을 3번이나 당하고.
This intense force of oppression and torture had changed a poet's literary direction. Yet instead of being discouraged, he sublimates his anger. And like the poem, he returns to heaven.
A powerful government that changed the poet's literary world forever and prohibited the publication of any critical material. But with its internal disruption that led to President Park Chung-hee's assassination, it all came tumbling down. The revitalizing reform died along with his death, and the Korean people christened this period as springtime in Seoul. They believed that the long, harsh winter had passed. However, the events of December 12th that immediately followed Park Chung-hee's assassination, when soldiers and tanks marched into Seoul, were conveniently forgotten by all. Chun Doo-hwan and his followers, who set up a puppet presidency and assumed the reins over the Blue House, interrogated politicians and proclaimed a contingency martial law on May 17th, with political separation as an excuse. They then sealed the most resistant city, Gwangju, and committed mass butchery. Freedom and idealism returned to the grave. The first step taken by the Chun Doo-hwan administration was also to discontinue all critical publications.
전두환 정권이 들어서고 나서 그때 이제 여러 잡지들 뭐 음란 잡지니 이런 것까지 섞어서 정리하면서 우리 그 끼어서 폐간을 시켰죠.
The followers at the forefront of resistance were no exceptions. The poet Ko Eun was the first to feel the blow from his involvement in Kim Dae-jung's fabricated conspiracy for a rebellion. This poet was a centerpiece in the opposition against dictatorship since the Park Chung-hee administration. There was no way Chun Doo-hwan's new military regime would turn a blind eye on him. He was granted a hearing for formality's sake and put in solitary confinement, which is designated for death row convicts only.
서울의 봄이 아니었습니다. 겨울이었죠. 근데 그 겨울이 더 심화된 것이 신군부가 출현해서 전두환 정권이 태어났죠. 그렇게 되니까 나는 그와 함께 이제 내란 음모죄로 다시 또 감옥에 기어 들어갔었고, 그러고 있다 그때는 이제 우리는 다 극한 상황에서 언제 어떻게 처리될지 모르는 생명의 경각 속에 있었죠.
In a prison where the right to read and write are prohibited, Gowon conceptualizes an inimitable literary production. 10,000 Lives, a pioneer poem written by collective effort that sings of people and geographical locations.
Conceptualizing 10,000 lives in Mount Paektusan in a prison cell devoid of sunlight, could he have ever imagined the possibility of Seoul as it is today, hosting the International Poetry Festival for World Peace? Taebaek Mountain Range is another piece that landmarks the 80s. The period of loss of Korean contemporary history. With Mount Jiri as the background, this novel spans from the Yosun Uprising to the Korean War. For this novel, Cho Jung-rae traveled around Pyeonggi in search of his prohibited partisan memories. The suffering was comparable to picking up rice one grain at a time on a white sand beach and cooking it.
군부 독재가 계속되고 있는 상황 속일망정 분단 극복적으로 작품을 쓰지 않는다면 끝없이 반공주의 그리고 분단을 획책하고 동조하는 역할밖에 못하지 않겠느냐. 이래서는 안 되겠다 하는 작가의 실존적인 자각과 책무감, 그런 것 때문에 태백산맥을 쓰게 된 겁니다.
It was an era when, in order to sustain an autocratic government, the North and communism were labeled as the axis of evil. Taebaek Mountain Range features a good communist and an evil Korean. He is prosecuted with the charge of violating the national security law. This hearing haunts him for a long time to come.
Poets did not stay silent. The figure in the lead was Shin Kyung-lim, who tried to find a common ground with the general public using our people's soul-filled rural community as the foundation. The picture he attempted to draw was the suffering young generation who left their hometowns to lead lives as city workers.
그 한 노동자를 알게 됐는데 그 노동자 그때 지명수배를 당해가지고서 도망다니면서 여러 가지 고민을 해요. 애인도 데려오고 결혼하느냐 어떻게 할 것이냐. 그래서 내가 결혼하라고 주대를 깨 너들 결혼하면 내가 주례도 서리고 축시도 한편 써주겠다. 그래서 썼던 것이 그 가난한 사람 노래고.
A love song for the poor. Alongside his initial representative work, Nongmu, a true national literature, this poem represented this period as a popular poem and a working man's poem and was beloved for a long time.
Despite the hatred and criticism against the military regime, the world seemed to revolve uneventfully. However, behind the darkening sky and silvery nocturnal view, dawn was approaching. And the piece that serves as the finale to this period begins to take shape.
The legendary Lee Mun-yeol, fabled as the greatest storyteller of the 80s. Our twisted hero.
그게 87년 그 4월 13일 날 4.13 호원선언을 한 게 있는데요. 그 발표를 들으면서 굉장히 충격을 받고 또 막막했습니다. 그래서 거기에서 어떤 그 권력과 지식인의 관계 같은 것을 생각해 보게 되었고, 그래서 우리 사회를 국민학교육 환경 교실로 한번 축약시켜 본 것입니다.
A sixth grade classroom that symbolizes an oppressed Korean society. There is an autocratic class president who rules with power and violence. However, his rule is put to an end by the appearance of a teacher who wields greater power. This novel satirizes Chun Doo-hwan's regime that attempted to sustain its authority obtained through violence.
People stream out to the streets furious as expected. A military regime that tried to uphold its own paradise through sheer force rings its funeral bell with the death of one young man. And now June 29, 1987. As the Chun Doo-hwan regime accepts a linear bill for amending the constitution, the long period of military coup d'etat government comes to a close, and the Republic of Korea bustles with the excitement of elections. A night that seemed to know no end was slowly embracing dawn.
The 1970s and the 80s. They are reputed as the most stimulating times in Korean literature. Even in the boroughs of darkness, literature stood tall at the center of culture and struggled to change the world. The attempt to defeat injustice did not stop, even under the force of oppression. Literature was a source of hope. A novel not for me, but for us. A literature that led the Korean society through poems built for us. June 1987, however, was a turning point that carried the winds of change in Korean literature.